what's the beef with what is going, kasi di ba very public naman yung yung away na nangyari between the volunteers in The Hague pagkatapos na pinagkatampuhan ni Attorney Harry Roque, and then because of the statement of Attorney Kaufman na do not interfere dun sa sa legal team, ganyan etc etc, nag-react rin to si Attorney Harry Roque, and then Attorney Harry Roque, there's no truth to it, ganon. So how is Attorney Harry Roque with the Hague people?
Well, he has I think he's okay with everyone. I think he's cordial with everyone, but I think he has parang, I don't know, a bit distant with me and Aldo, but I don't mind kasi, Joey. I remain civil and cordial sa kanya. Even if you notice that sa lahat ng mga live ng mga tao, sinasabi ko pa rin, every time there's a question and answer before, sabi ko, attorney, ikaw muna una mag-question, tas follow lang kami sa'yo, anong lead mo, ganun. Kasi always naman yun na talaga si attorney nandoon, tas kami, we are just covering what's happening. After matapos si attorney Roque mag-question, then we will ask questions, lahat-lahat, ganun. I think he's okay with everyone naman. The problem only is, I think with different belief, and it's just Attorney Roque wants a different approach, and we also do not really, how do I say that, conform to that approach. So we have it's okay to have differing views na lang. Yung iniisip ko na lang na, okay, iba naman tayo ng way of supporting, then that's fine. Kasi again, I always believe na ang daming ways to open a can of tuna. So hindi naman necessary na may tama at may mali. As long as yung objective natin remain kay PRRD.
Kung deed of donation yan to the Philippine government, o may public interest, and therefore, that can be made available. But not everything that everybody does is something that you're entitled to know. So that's one thing. Wala bang privacy? Wala bang ganyan? Oh, for example, if a private person has a misunderstanding with somebody else, are we entitled to that information? They seem to think na they can just bring out proof of supposedly your bad character, but simply because they can. But I'd like to think that when we all just sit down and take a breath, there's some things that are beyond the sphere of the public discourse.
Di ko kinaya si Tio Joey. Grabe, totoo, emeritus na. Di talaga ako pang Devil Squad talaga sa... Actually, hindi talaga. Grabe si Tio pala.
Ano yung natural yan ni Tio.
Natural.
Diyos me. Ayan na si Attorney Trixie. Attorney Trixie, akyat ka na. Nasyak natin si Attorney Trixie kay Tio.
Grabe yung bunganga ni Tio. Grabe. Akyat na ba si Attorney? Alis na ba ako si Attorney Trixie na lang?
We can accommodate everyone. Ganyan. Okay na yan. Stay ka lang. Ayan. If may question ako kasi di ba
go
yung
ahead.
a written interview of Attorney Kaufman, I think you asked parang certain number of questions doon na
7 to be exact actually.
And question number 4 was particularly controversial kasi spicy talaga doon si Attorney Kaufman. A lot of people are saying totoo ba yung interview na yan? So basically they are questioning your credibility na baka mamaya ginawa-gawa lang yan ni Alvin, ganyan. So what can you say about it?
I think these are unfounded allegations talaga. That's why I think also I adhere to the practice na if you allege something, it is your burden of proof to really support that allegation. And I think I should not make it easy for everybody, to, just answer it head on or whatnot, just put out there what seemed to be, because otherwise it will become a practice. Later on, what if I'm going to have another interview with Attorney Kaufman? So most likely they're going to do the same. And I don't have any obligation or whatnot to anybody to do that as long as I am actually at par with the ethical standards of what needs to be put out there. Kaya nga verbatim ko talaga nilalagay yun. Because I'm not a journalist. I am not nothing. I am just an ordinary citizen. Gusto ko lang talaga yung katotohanan. And even Attorney Kaufman, verbatim din, sinabi niya sa akin, here are all your answers, Alvin. Please publish in their entirety. Gumanon talaga siya sa akin. Because he doesn't want na, kaya siguro yan yung nagustuhan ko ni Attorney Kaufman, because when I do interview with him, it's always real time. Once na record ko, I will put it out there. I will ask even SMNI to air it first before I publish it on my own platform. Yan yung yan talaga practice ko. Kasi I told him that I only wanted the truth, nothing but the truth sa lahat ng mga kababayan natin gustong malaman anong nangyayari kay PRRD dito. I really told him that before. And I think I proved to him that I'm very consistent and that I'm loyal to the president. Kasi nga before, even starting 8 o'clock, nandoon ako sa labas ng ICC detention hanggang dumating siya. Kaya one day, 2 weeks ata siya wala doon, sabi niya, Alvin, I heard from kasi yung nakakausap ko, yung mga colleagues niya with member of the defense team. Sinabi sa akin ng mga taong yun, we cannot answer whatever question you have, Alvin, because only Attorney Kaufman is allowed
to
or is clear
speak.
to do that, to speak talaga. Bawal ang iba, kahit si Dr.
Mm.
Jacobs, bawal. Lahat-lahat ng
Mm.
mga member ng defense team, bawal. Si Attorney Kaufman lang talaga. So when he
Oo.
heard na 2 weeks ako doon paulit-ulit every day, kasi hindi ko naman alam, I don't have any contact or whatnot, he really told me,
Yeah.
Alvin, because I don't want you to waste your time, here's my number, ganito, ganyan, contact me, ganyan. Yeah, that's what happened. And that's
Oo.
exactly the plain and simple truth.
Mm. And then, ang tawag dito, what's the beef with what is going, kasi di ba very public naman yung yung away na nangyari between the volunteers in The Hague pagkatapos na pinagkatampuhan ni Attorney Harry Roque. And then because of the statement of Attorney Kaufman na do not interfere dun sa sa legal team, ganyan, etc., etc. Nag-react rin to si Attorney Harry Roque. And then Attorney Harry Roque, there's no truth to it. Ganon. So how is Attorney Harry Roque with the Hague people?
Well, he has, I think, he's okay with everyone. I think he's cordial to everyone. But I think he has, parang, I don't know, a bit distant with me and Aldo. But I don't mind kasi, Joey. I remain civil and cordial sa kanya. Even if you notice na sa lahat ng mga live ng mga tao, sinasabi ko pa rin, every time there's a question and answer before, sabi ko, Attorney, ikaw muna una mag-question, tas follow lang kami sa'yo, anong lead mo, ganun. Kasi always naman yun na talaga si Attorney nandoon, tas kami, we are just covering what's happening. After matapos si Attorney Roque mag-question, then we will ask questions, lahat-lahat, ganun. I think he's okay with everyone naman. The problem only is, yeah, I think with different belief, and it's just Attorney Roque wants a different approach, and yeah, we also do not really, how do I say that, conform to that approach. So we have it's okay to have differing views na lang. Yung iniisip ko na lang na, okay, iba naman tayo ng way of supporting, then that's fine. Kasi again, I always believe na ang daming ways to open a can of tuna. So hindi naman necessary na may tama at may mali. As long as yung objective natin remain kay PRRD. I think that's how I should characterize the relationship of Attorney Roque to everyone. Yeah.
Ayan. Okay. Now, so ibig sabihin, kumbaga, civil naman. Wala kumbaga, everyone can tolerate everyone. Oo. Wala namang problema. So, however, the reaction of Attorney Kaufman kasi if I may read, sabi niya dun sa
You want I will read kasi I have it handy ba?
Yeah, sige, go.
Kasi this question is I think it was a piggyback question doon sa statement ni Attorney Kaufman during my first interview asking him. It was not even my question, it's a question from other person, media entity. Because what my practice is that, hey, by the way, media entity, do you have question for Attorney Kaufman na pwede natin itanong, because I have an opportunity to ask him questions outside the Hague, outside ICC detention facility. The question back then is that, is the defense team actively taking into consideration, considering Dutch laws or for legal remedy daw, with respect doon sa how the former president was brought into the custody of the Hague kasi dumaan siya sa Netherlands. Yun yung question. Doon sa statement ni Attorney Kaufman na yun, Joey, sinabi niya doon na, I think it is a crazy scheme, ganun-ganun. Nag-react naman si Attorney Roque. No, there's nothing crazy about that, ganito ganyan kasi gusto lang namin mapauwi si Tatay Digong, ganyan. So I followed up on that particular parang continuing story. Sabi ko, ang question ko, kaya nga sinabi ko, in your previous interview, you characterize a crazy scheme, legal remedy involving Dutch laws. Why do you consider it a big mistake? Kasi sabi niya, it's a big mistake talaga. I actually listened to that particular statement or interview over and over again para malaman ko, bakit ba ito big mistake para kay considered by Attorney Kaufman. Sinabi niya dito, na-shock ako mismo na-shock ako sa statement na written answer ni Attorney Kaufman kasi talagang ninarrate niya doon na a Dutch lawyer has confirmed to me that Harry Roque approached him with an initiative to sue the Dutch government for facilitating the rendition of the former president. Kasi ito yung sinasabi na dapat sa Dutch laws kasi nga the rendition, the manner that he was brought to the custody of ICC is wrong to begin with, di ba? Sabi naman niya, in my opinion, this was a crazy scheme because the release of the former president would require the cooperation of the Dutch government, something unlikely to be forthcoming if they are being sued by the person concerned. Can you imagine if the ICC released him already? The PRRD needs to go to the Dutch government. Pag merong pending case doon, masangit na naman. Ay, ano bang masangit?
Matrap na naman siya
sumabit. Andyan pala si Aldo. Isasabit siya doon sa Dutch government. He even pressed further. Sinabi niya, I was also told that once the Dutch lawyer learned that Harry Roque was a fugitive from justice, he severed all contact with him. But Harry Roque is persistent to the point of obsessive. And with this plan, he could very well have jeopardized the defense effort to release the former president. Because I'm thinking, ito yung effort ng defense, parallel, meron ding effort yung other personalities. Of course, the intention was really good, but what if it's going to affect the defense strategy later on without them even knowing na meron palang gano'n nangyari? Kaya it was even good that this Dutch person actually contacted Attorney Kaufman. Kaya sabi ko, ay, totoo naman. Nagpaganyan talaga ako kasi binasa ko yung mga answer ni Attorney Kaufman. Sinabi ko pa sa kanya, this is how I'm going to publish it, Attorney Kaufman. Sabi niya, okay, that is okay. Kasi sabi, gusto ko talaga niya, verbatim talaga. As how he wrote it, dapat ganoon. Sabi din niya, I have made it known that I would find it hard to forgive him for that and I refuse to entertain his ramblings. That means, this has been already for a long time kasi bakit niya kinakarakterize na ramblings, di ba? It was not only for that present moment in time. So that means that Attorney Kaufman is actually following this development na ganito pala. So yun yung inisip ko, from day one, sinabi pa niya, from day one, Harry Roque has portrayed himself as the only person capable of defending the former president, motivating the public against me and my team. Harry Roque would be best advised to channel the energy he has expended on meddling into defending his appeal against the denial of his supposed refugee status. A status which he would have been happy to jettison if someone would be prepared to employ him. Because before, Attorney Roque already denied yung news before ng mga sa mainstream media na na-deny yung asylum application niya. So I was thinking, ha? So ibig sabihin, na-deny pala talaga because now it is only in appeal. I didn't knew kasi hindi naman ako nagtatanong kasi ng mga ganyan. And then when we talk, sinabi kasi, I remember at some point sinabi na hindi na-deny, ganito, ganyan, hindi yan totoo, fake news yan. Yan kasi yung categorization before. Kaya sabi ko, sa sinabi ni Attorney Kaufman, bakit ganoon? Yun napaisip ako bigla. Sabi niya, as it is, neither the former president nor anyone else in his immediate vicinity is interested in Harry Roque as a lawyer. The former president had made it known that Roque would stop interfering in the case and returned to the Philippines to sort out his own troubling legal issues. So, yan, it did not come from me. It came from Attorney Nicholas Kaufman, the lead counsel of the defense team. So, yun talaga ang totoo. Kaya nga, I was really quite surprised that people from a certain personality asking me to release communication or what. Why would I do that? When you accused me that it was a script, di ba? So, so that was it. Sorry, I'm really passionate.
But it's going to be it's going to be a battle of credibility. Kasi, di ba, na parang if you're questioning whether or not the interview is fabricated or hindi, ganyan. Later on, Attorney Kaufman would have the ability to confirm that the interview happened. So let's just wait for it. Di ba? Ang ano kasi dito, I think what is wrong with Maharlika, akala niya entitled siya sa mga questions na naisip lang niya all of a sudden. Ganon, okay? While you can say whatever you want, okay, in public or whatever, ganyan, you also have to be reasonable para hindi ka makaistorbo sa buhay ng iba. You cannot just go on with nonsense ramblings. Kung sasabihin mo na ano bang proof niyan, ganyan. Are you even competent to ask for proof? Diba? Are you even competent to ask for proof? Why don't you go to Attorney Kaufman and ask Kaufman directly whether or not it is a true interview or not? Diba?
Precisely.
And these people, itong si Maharlika, at yung mga followers ni Maharlika, because Maharlika taught her audience how to be stupid. Okay? Even yung mga professionals na followers ni Maharlika taught you to be stupid. Na akala ninyo entitled kayo sa mga kwento, sa mga proofs, okay? Entitled kayo sa mga questions na binabanat niyo. Like, hindi dapat maglabas sila ng proof. Hindi, dapat maglalabas ng proof dahil sinabi lang ni Maharlika.
And also, diba? Joey, she did not even said sorry or some sort because she alleged that I barred these certain individuals from asking Attorney Kaufman question. When in fact, when I confronted these individuals, sinabi nila hindi. Some even released a statement na hindi ko yung ginawa. When I had a confrontation, also, I was able to establish that I did not do that because that's not hindi ko talaga character yung ganyan na mag-barred ng somebody to ask question or whatnot or to not let people do things. Hindi nga niya in-address yun. Na ginawa ko yun, even with the allegation na script lang or whatnot, I was also able to establish. Sabi ko, hindi yan totoo. Alam mo, even the professionals, they also read stuff in order to make sure that they are in line with what they're supposed to ask. Kaya yun naman talaga yung practice, di ba? Kaya sabi ko, hindi nga, parang gano'n na lang. Sinabi niya lang gano'n, tapos when the fact of the matter actually dismissed or debunked the claim, nothing. Parang wala lang, hindi lang siya nangyari.
Yeah, but
that's why I was thinking, bakit ganoon? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
yes, Aldo, you were saying something.
But that's Maharlika. She is someone who does not face accountability. So that is also something that you look into a character of someone that you actually follow. Diba? So Maharlika, if you see her saying things like that, not being, like receiving accountability on her mishaps or yung mga pagkakamali niya, you should actually question her credibility already. So yun. So Maharlika, she's not professional at all. Yun lang naman.
And that's why I don't want to deal with that, to borrow the word of Attorney Kaufman, ramblings. Kasi nga, what if she's gonna come back to The Hague or something soon? I don't know. There's an event on the 20th to the 21st. Perhaps she's gonna join that. Or if even better, if she's also going to join our event on the 22nd to the 24th sa September. Diba? Pwede siyang mangyari. But I don't want to be put again in a situation where I am being asked to say yes to something I have never done. Kaya as much as possible, I refuse to deal with this particular ramblings, kumbaga. Kasi it's a waste of time kasi I actually see that the Filipino people gave me a different mandate and that to really loop them in sa mga updates, so the factual and truthful development ng case ni Tatay Digong, ganun ganyan, kung anong pwede kong makover as much as possible if time permits. So yun yung nakikita kong dito na lang ako kasi every time I make statements, kahit mag ano pang allegation sa akin, I should shy away from answering them kasi nga it's draining my energy or something. It's taking away my precious time. I should have focused it on other things. Yun yung approach ko ngayon.
Exactly. I have a question though. I have a question.
Go, Aldo. Go.
Sa akin talaga, Aldo? Or sa iba?
Ha?
Sa akin ba or sa iba?
Hindi.
Kasama natin si Attorney Trixie, ha? Dito si Attorney Trixie.
Hello, Attorney Trixie. Nandiyan pala.
Balance daw ang mundo ngayon. Merong 2 angel squad at saka merong 2 devil.
May gusto ko lang, Joey, I just wanted to, now, part of what's lost in the entire conversation is Tatay Digong, number 1. And number 2, also the information on what we are really entitled to. So halimbawa, what information are we entitled to? When there is a contract between 2 parties, the public at large is not entitled to the information of that contract. It's called the privity of contracts also. Plus, donation is a contract. Diba? So if somebody makes a donation, donor and donee have a contractual relationship. Is the public allowed the information of the contract between these 2 parties? So if there are no, if is the public entitled to the information of that contract? Only if there is a greater public interest. So if, for example, these 2 parties are parties to kung deed of donation yan to the Philippine government, o may public interest, and therefore, that can be made available. But not everything that everybody does is something that you are entitled to know. So that's one thing. Wala bang privacy? Wala bang ganyan? O, for example, if a private person has a misunderstanding with somebody else, are we entitled to that information? They seem to think na they can just bring out proof of supposedly your bad character, but simply because they can. But I'd like to think that when we all just sit down and take a breath, there's some things that are beyond the sphere of the public discourse. Ano yung nasa public discourse? Public interest. What we do with our government, criticism of government officials, how we spend public money. These are the things that are within the sphere of our discussions. Also, the state of affairs of PRD, because he's our former president, there are implications of the sovereignty of the Philippines when he was taken from this country. These are within the bounds of public discourse. Are the private lives of people who are private and do not seek in the public eye fodder for our chismis? No. Now, there's an argument that as bloggers, mayroon tayo, we are public figures. And yes, people can talk about us. But they are also still not free to make malicious imputations. So, kumbaga, if we're going to be talking about each other, okay, as long as we're within the public sphere, nobody gets to tell somebody to shut up if we're all in the public sphere. On the other hand, nobody gets to make malicious imputations because that's libelous. Na hindi kailangan, and the other thing that is often talked about, nagkakahamunan yung mga tipong, anong pruweba mo? Yung mga ganyan. If it is a discourse, this is not a court. We are here to make public discourse. We're talking about each other. We're talking about public policy. We're talking about something within the sphere of public interest. Yung minsan, yung hamunan ng ebidensya, tapos hamunan ng character ng ibang tao, they distract you from the real issues.
Correct.
That's why meron tayong rules on logic, like ad hominem is illogical. You can bash a person, but that doesn't mean their argument is wrong. Meron mga things like mga strawman, mga ganyan. But what's important is that if we're going to have any value to the discourse, then we must adhere to at least the rules on logic.
Correct. But what we found out, Attorney Trixie, is that this has been going on since May 31. Actually, June 1, day after nung birthday celebration ni Inday. This has been going on for June, July, going on third month na itong gulo na ito. And I found out that these people do not really, it has no rhyme or reason. There's no logic. They are not really out there to engage. They are not really out there to, it is really, it is a clear operation to distract everyone. And of course, syempre, talagang hindi naman sila makikipagpunto-punto ng mga usapan, hindi naman sila ganyan. So, and I think this ano rin to, nakita naman nating lahat po na hindi sila interesado na mag-engage sa public discourse to really make the public more intelligent or more aware, because there is something, there might be something bigger that they are trying to achieve here. And so, because they were given an opportunity to engage reasonably and they failed to engage reasonably, talaga, it becomes street rules. Naging street rules na itong labanan na to, 'di ba?
So, yung ko rin lang is that, well, that's one. What is within the public sphere? What can we discuss? Of course, we're free to speak our minds. Now we're free to speak about anything. Pero the reason we keep it within the public discourse is para relevant. We're not here to simply talk. Hindi tayo nasa entertainment business. We're here to discuss matters of public policy. Now, the other thing that's a little disturbing is that everybody seems to think that they can have an opinion on counsel. Now, an attorney-client relationship it's so sacred that the conversations between attorney and client are called privileged. Ibig sabihin, not even the court can compel an attorney or a client to divulge what they talked about. Now, does the public have an interest in the attorney-client relationship? No. Okay, this is only the client has to say in whether or not he will trust his own lawyer. And that is what a fiduciary relationship, that's a relationship based on trust. Now, when you try to break that trust here, at least, or even in any municipal court, or even I understand within the ICC, if you try to destroy the relationship between an attorney and client, there are repercussions. The court would discipline you. So maybe we should all take a breath and determine whether or not it is within this public discourse to talk about Attorney Kaufman and whether or not the Dutertes, or particularly PRD, should continue to retain him. Now, there are some strategies that people are questioning. And we do have theories about that. For instance, merong nagko-question, bakit parati daw talo yung mga motions? What I'd like to say is that sometimes motions are filed even if you know you're going to lose, because there is a bigger strategy. For example, if he was trying to show bias on the part of, I'm not saying this is a ICC. If I want to question the objectivity of the court, I will file all of these motions and then determine through the use of their reasoning why these are going to be denied or why these are denied, in order to show that there's a specific pattern of behavior, for example, or there is a specific argument that is specious and so on. So there are strategies that we are not likely to see because we're not on the inside. We don't have all the facts. And in many instances, we don't know how to maneuver the strategies within the context of the ICC. So there are some counsels who might be are privileged to be able to appear in courts such as the ICC. But levels of experience also matter to the client. So maybe, if we are going to conduct discourse, siguro naman, kailangan it should be on a higher level. We must appreciate that people like Attorney Kaufman, whose experience in international law is long and varied, that perhaps this person sees something that we are not privy to see. So we have to be careful when we talk about it, lalo na if it could affect the attorney-client relationship. So ganyan lang ang that's really all I wanted to say here, is but that it should be, yes.
I have a question, Attorney Trixie. What value, or what's the weight? Let's say, for example, if somebody makes a comment pertaining to anything surrounding around the case of the former president before the ICC, and that actually can be established that that person has instigated something malicious or whatnot that caused trouble, or I don't know, something to the council. What is there
liability
repercussion? Oh, is there liability?
On the part of the meddler, on the part if proven na.
I don't know if they do it in the ICC, but here there is a liability. It could be civil, it could be administrative. If you're a lawyer, then it could be subject to disciplinary measures before the bar. Or if you are a third party, you can be sued for damages if the relationship falls apart. And
can someone, attorney, to follow up on that, can someone just say something under the moon and the sun and then attack the council because they do not favor that council, and then instigate that he should be replaced, ganyan, trying to urge the public to go against this particular council and the team?
First, the context is always free speech. Okay, we are all entitled to free speech. The exception is when it causes damage. So if there is damage, then there is liability. In general, there's some damage that there is none. It's rare instance, but yeah, in cases like this, there's liability if there is damage. So again, you're free to speak. But if your speech causes damage, then you should also prepare for some kind of liability. So yun lang, the discourse should be carried out at a higher level. Wag nating anuhin because pagka masyadong personal, it burdens people like PRD, it burdens PINDAI, and it burdens the family.
And Attorney Trixie, it has to be parang it has to be approached in two levels. First, kung kunwari, yung nag-a-attack dun sa legal strategy ni Attorney Kaufman or ordinary citizen, then we can construe it as, sige, part of your free speech, maybe that's what you think, things like. However, it becomes an entirely different conversation if another practicing lawyer is the one attacking another lawyer, because I think that one would have a more serious repercussion. Kasi, it's definitely going to be frowned upon in the legal community.
There's also another instance where an ordinary person could be liable if that person has privileges. And the privilege, remember, when you're granted a privilege, you don't have a right to it. So that privilege can be taken away. So for example, somebody is an employee within the ICC, you have privileges, and so on, your privileges could be suspended if there is some kind of anomaly with regard to, let's say, the confidentiality of the proceedings. The ICC also has rules on sub judice. So may mga ganyan, may mga so it really depends on how the ICC will view it, even if you're a third party, even if you're a civilian, and so on. So
they also have the gag rule, attorney, no?
They can do that, but only for those that are within their jurisdiction. So for example, the accused, the complainants, and those who are within their control. So counsels, for example, they can talk about factual matters of the case, but they cannot argue it before the people. So if you will notice, Attorney Kaufman has stayed within those lines. He talks about the factual matters. We did this, they did this, and so on. The court ruled this way. But he doesn't speculate. He doesn't argue that, oh, but my client is not guilty. Walang grandstanding na ganon. So it's really not the same as the ones that we see on TV, because sometimes real life is a lot more boring. So yung mga ganun klaseng speech. What else? Sino pa? Yung mga within their control. So if, for instance, your fellow witnesses are speaking, without against the confidentiality rule, they could also be barred. So yung mga ganyan ba? They can so these things can affect. So kumbaga hindi kasi tayo sanay, the Filipino public is not used to proceedings in a different setting like the ICC. Sanay tayo sa batahan dito sa and in many instances na it can get out of hand. Kaya nga ngayon, even here dito sa Pilipinas, the Supreme Court is tightening up. Lawyers can no longer try to argue their case before the public. They can only speak to the press, but they must adhere strictly to the factual matters that happen in court.
I have a dumb question for Attorney Trixie.
There's no such thing.
Kasi, like this, I'm just really confused about this one. Kasi if for example, Attorney Harry Roque has a denied asylum status here in the Netherlands. So for example, since he doesn't have any, paano ba yun? Parang
Residency?
or residency, and he doesn't have a job. So technically, he's not a lawyer, or he's not counted as a lawyer here. Kasi nga, he is a person with no status. So ano lang siya, paano ba, guni-guni? Na he's existing, but he doesn't literally have anything, like he has nothing. So does it count na nanggugulo siya?
Okay.
For example, like as a lawyer, kasi technically, he is
okay.
Because existing, he is not like he has no ano ba tawag doon, like title here. So does it count even if he is
also even na gano'n siya, Aldo, I think he got accepted to teach in a university. Didn't he?
Press release, but I don't know. I have no idea with that talaga. If it's true, I cannot say if it's true. I cannot say if it's false. So yun yung tanong ko, that it might be really a dumb question, but since he doesn't have a title here, does it count that he is only a heckler, like parang ganon?
Okay. It really depends on the immigration laws there. Now he's there under a special status, and that status is as a refugee. So once you make an application, you're immediately granted by the International Convention on the Status of Refugees with the status of a refugee, which means you cannot be deported, at least not to your home country where you will most likely suffer from persecution. So that's the protection that he has right now. Is he allowed? Generally, these countries, they recognize free speech. But he will have to check, or everybody has to check, whether or not some of the statements are still covered by that guarantee. Kasi universal naman yun eh. Ang worry ko is what are the terms of his refugee status? Since hindi naman nakapublish yung mga conditions of his refugee status, we can assume that it will be subject to the behavior of an ordinary citizen that is at the moment making an application. So, but I'd like to point out, even if it is denied, if you file an appeal, you're still considered to be holding the status of a refugee. So as long as that case is active, he is a refugee and cannot be deported.
So he's still deported. He is still protected, Attorney Trix, until there's a decision in the appeal.
So tignan niyo yung East Timor. When the decision became final kay Congressman Teves, dineport na siya. He was no longer entitled to the status of a refugee. So yun.
So he still has the title as a lawyer. Yun lang, isa din yung sa question ko. Kasi diba, yung question is, if you are a lawyer, you cannot meddle with another client, another lawyer who was a client or something like that, diba? Which was the complaints of Attorney Kaufman. Or, I don't know, ganyan. So, since he is now, technically, yung sabi naman ni Attorney Kaufman that his status is denied, so he has no title. So, maybe he is allowed to be a heckler, no? Or something like that.
Well, he's still a lawyer, yes, but I don't think he's allowed to practice law. His refugee status does not grant him the right to practice law. That will be subject to the laws of the Netherlands. But if ever it comes to that, the disciplinary action can be questioned in the Philippines, where he is a member of the bar.
See, ayun, that's clear to me.
That can be tested. Even if the behavior is conducted abroad, will the IBP or the Philippine Supreme Court have jurisdiction over a disciplinary matter if the action was conducted abroad? I think it's an interesting case. It should be filed. But I don't also want it to be filed frivolously against attorney. So, ano lang natin dito is, first of all, I would like to call for some kind of understanding. He is not in an easy position. He's away from his family. Yeah. He has cases filed against him here. Serious criminal cases. I don't think bailable ang human trafficking. So, returning to the Philippines is certain, means certain jail for him. Pag-uwi sa airport pa lang, aaresto rin siya. So, that is very, yes.
So, since yung case na pala is non-bailable na human trafficking, so does it mean when he said that he is being persecuted because of the Dutertes has really nothing to do with his non-bailable case, correct? So, it's not like... Yeah, so because when
he has to demonstrate that, no, Attorney Trix, no, that his cases are political in nature and it connects to him being a supporter of the because he has to establish that, no.
Yes, that's part of the case that he must make to be granted refugee status, permanent refugee status. Yung asylum niya.
Yung lumalabas kasi 'di ba sa social media and sa media na parang there was a statement of Attorney Harry na it sounded like he is where he is right now because he has been a staunch defender or supporter of the Duterte. So parang he is being politically persecuted dahil sa mga Duterte. So na-affiliate yung apelyado ng mga Duterte on his case where in fact it was human trafficking, di ba? Or something like that.
Yes, I understand related sa Pogo. Now, we cannot say that he's guilty at this point kasi nga it's merely case filed. Wala pang decision, wala pang ang trial. So we cannot take that against him either. Ang ano ko lang is that he still has options. I understand that he has expressed a willingness to go home. So, well, actually, that's laudable. Particularly if he doesn't feel that he has any significant role where he is right now. So, tingin ko, intindihin na lang muna natin siya. Ibang usapan yung mga personal stuff. Pero dito, in relation to his asylum status, kaya ko pang, it's easy to understand the pressures that he is under.
Correct, oo. Maging makatao.
So, this is the time when, Angel Squad talaga, ha? Nagulat ako.
Yung Angel Squad talaga pumipigil.
Kaya pala yung
Kaya pala Angel
pigil na pigil pa pala.
Angel Squad.
Promise din ako aakyat. Kasi
mabuha
matagal na pagtitimpi.
Kasi Trinity kami, di ba? Si Joey, Coco at ako. Trinity kami. Tapos si Tio naman kanina, hindi ko na inabot yung
Emeritus na.
Alvin. Kasi
yung emeritus si Teo, emeritus talaga yung atake niya. Wala talagang bar.
Oo.
Diba nga?
Asyendero yun sa ano, asyendero yun sa hell. Marami siyang lupain doon.
Totoo.
Ang ano ko lang is, sige, then kumbaga, ang request ko lang naman is that if we have the better knowledge, then we must impart that so that yung diskurso mas mataas. Nasa level na ang pinag-uusapan natin ay yung polisiya, yung batas, ano nangyayari, ano yung interplay dito. Halimbawa, buti nga nandyan si Alvin at tuloy-tuloy yung pagre-report niya dun sa mga pangyayari. Pero dito sa publiko natin, there's less talk about, let's say, yung pagkakataon nito nakikita natin kung paano gumagalaw yung mga international courts, particularly one as controversial as the ICC. So pagkaganyan, di ba may pagkakataon tayo, makikita natin na may isa tayong kasama, si PRD nandun, he's subjected to these things. Makikita natin na, yung iba kasi very, in awe parati of yung mga international courts, mga ganyan. Yung mga courts abroad, memoryado yung mga procedures sa law and order. Pero yung totoo niyan, the real practice of it is a lot more controversial, lalo-lalo na dito sa ICC. Kasi yung mga things like yung interim release, yung development nung privilege na yon, dati talagang walang ginagrant dyan. Pero nagkaroon ng kontrobersiya dun sa ICC tungkol dun sa violation ng rights, particularly the right to be presumed innocent. Now look, nasaan si PRD? Nasa pre-trial pa lang siya. So normally, pag pre-trial, dinidetain lang yan pagka yung circumstances are medyo severe, like it could still happen, he still has influence, mga ganyan. But there has been no discourse on that, not even with the court. Now, I trust Attorney Kaufman because I see what the strategy is here. But that's not something that people are talking about. Di ba dapat nakikita natin yung proseso dito para tumataas din yung antas ng awareness natin na hindi lahat ng foreign, hindi lahat ng international ay magaling. Hindi yan nag-uphold ng human rights. Minsan hindi nila, kumbaga, minsan yung batas para sa kanila iba yung para sa sa third world. So isa pa yan, we get to see ang tingin ng tong mga iba sa atin and how we're going to be dealing with that. Now remember,
isang attorney sa YouTube, I think that he's explaining things. I forgot, he's an attorney as well. Attorney Neil Abayon. Oh yeah, he explains things about the ICC, anong ibig sabihin, ganun. So I thought that, but actually yung idea mo, attorney, wala pa talagang nakakagawa nan. Siguro sa inyo na siguro yan. Kasi
tinitignan ko rin remember nung unang pinag-usapan yung interim release, 3 lang ang major cases on that one that was handled by the ICC. So, but there are some exceptions na ginrant, pero hindi siya exactly interim release. Pero yung 3 na una na cases, hindi yun ginrant. Tapos very controversial nung time na yun ng ICC kasi parang ang trato nila dun sa mga respondents doon na umaharap sa kanila, akala mo guilty na. Yung isa na dininay ng interim release, mid-trial, kinol off yung trial kasi wala palang ebidensya sa kanya. Ibig sabihin, dinitain siya. Pero the evidence wasn't even sufficient para tumuloy yung hearing. So, di ba, sayang yung mga ganyan, para nakikita hindi tayo masyadong yung kumbaga, nakikita din natin. Now remember, ang sabi ni VP Inday, very sharp ngayon ang utak ni PRD. Let's also see how much he and Attorney Kaufman will be able to hammer out their strategy for the next few months. So,
sorry, Attorney Trix, and that is when I find it really ridiculous that there are people who are encouraging distrust on Attorney Kaufman because it is not as if PRRD is not there. I mean, PRRD would also be very, very capable in questioning Attorney Kaufman if he thinks that what is being done is not up to his standard. Also, Inday is in coordination with, in constant coordination with Attorney Kaufman. And definitely, Inday would also not accept anything less than the standard that she set. So, I find it really disturbing that a lot of people are trying to sow intrigues and doubt against Attorney Kaufman. Kasi, if you are going to do that, yung mga banat na ganyan, it's not gonna hit Kaufman per se. Hindi naman matatapos yung atake doon kay Kaufman eh. Ang ultimate na latay niyan, kakabit kay PRRD at kay Inday. Kasi basically, you are saying that these two individuals who you are fighting for, who you are supporting with whose advocacy is anchored on, sila talaga yung inaatake mo. Kasi basically, you are saying, you do not trust them, that they do not know what they're doing. Diba?
So, I think it should also be made clear that pag ginulo natin yung attorney-client relationship, ang laki ng tama kay PRD niyan. So, whose side are you on? Kailangan, if ever there are concerns, then that should be limited to, let's say, a communication between whoever that person is and maybe VP Inday. And nakikinig naman si VP, but ultimately, she will make a decision. Now, clearly a decision has been made and continues to be made every day. Mukhang every time the matter is brought up, the decision remains. So, I think we should just leave it at that, because nga, it must be absolutely clear to everybody that a problem in the attorney-client relationship could affect how that lawyer will be handling the case. Diba, kung ikaw yung abogado, ginugulo ka, ini-intriga ka, it will take great effort to focus on your case. Any lawyer would have that issue. So again, if the issues are being made public, parang, does this help? Would your suggestions help? If Attorney Kaufman appears to not be affected by anything outside of that, but he is aware that there are attempts, there is an intention to, it's interference eh. Actually, dito sa atin, bawal yon. Yung aabisuhan mo yung kliyente, yung kliyente may abogado, bawal yon. That violates the...
That's going to be a violation of the Code of Ethical Standard naman.
And
it's a serious case.
What if Attorney Trixie, what if Attorney Kaufman will find out na dami palang mga pinagsasabing masama, hypothetical, ng mga tao, let's say for example, ng mga tao na grabe pala yung paninira, ganito, there was really an effort, ganyan. Is there some sort of accountability na pwede din natin i-ganon sa mga ganon?
Meron, but I think this is how I see Attorney Kaufman handling it, no? As long as he is the lawyer, kampante siya. Kasi ang important is the trust of PRD. Now, if that trust becomes affected, ibang usapan yan. So, and the ICC could also move on its own, probably. I'm not sure kung pwede silang motu proprio, but if certain behaviors come to their attention and so on, then they could most likely take note of that. But I'm not necessarily talking about
alam mo, may follow-up statement or may follow-up question ako sa sinabi mo. Could that also lead to
Ay, bilib talaga ako sa Angel Squad. Oo. Bilib talaga. Bait pa rin ang pagkakasabi.
So, siyempre, ayaw natin maging pabigat kay PRD.
Correct. Oo. Yes.
At saka kay VP Inday. Alam nyo, I'm sure na hindi na lang pinapakita ni VP, pero I'm sure na-affect siya when there's conflict na that's completely unnecessary.
Exactly. So, yes, ma'am.
Sana, wala naman akong moral authority to tell certain people to behave a certain way, but we can call out to the public, to the audience, na wag naman natin i-encourage certain behaviors, di ba?
Pero paano, Attorney Trixie, pag yung ibang tao, they feel that they have the moral authority to tell other people?
that automatically means they don't. So that's our better judgment na. Pero ako, I would like to ask people to be the better person here. There's some things, nagigil tayo because we feel that we are personally affronted, tayo yung nag-ano. But an adult will also understand that not everything is a battle that you have to fight. There are things that you can stand to ignore. Because in the end, we're here to support the VP, we're here to support PRD. Ang gusto natin, makauwi si PRD. And if it requires us to be circumspect na magpigil ng gigil, then siguro, kaya naman siguro natin ibigay kay PRD yan, di ba? Kaya natin ibigay kay VP Inday.
Ibibigay ko na, attorney, I will not, according to Attorney Kaufman, I will also not, think or entertain the ramblings of individuals. Yun na lang.
Who must concern themselves with their troubling relationships.
In behalf of the Devil Squad, we cannot promise.
I can understand why. Ang dami ng pasan-pasan ni VP Inday. Diba, dagdag pa ba tayo? Sana wala lang.
Ako mag-focus
na talaga ako. Pwede naman tumulong sa relief efforts niya. Pwede naman tumulong sa relief efforts ni VP Inday. Direct coordination dun sa supplier. So, pwede naman tayo magganyan kasi this is something that the VP is personally concerned about. Tapos nakakatulong tayo sa mga kababayan natin. Yung atupagin naman natin yung mga nasalanta kasi even PRD, paano ko yun kung makalabas siya tapos tanungin niya tayo, anong ginawa mo para sa bayan mo? Pagka nanganga tayo dyan, kakahiya, di ba? We keep saying, ang bait-bait niya, he did all of this for us. Masuklian man lang natin by also taking care of our fellow Filipinos. Ito yung mga panahon na kailangan. Huwag kayong mag-alala, hindi ako mag-Bible verse. Ito talagang yung mga followers mo, ang grabe yung sutin mo.
Mayaw ka lang, attorney.
Yung mga to,
Parang attorney yung school principal.
Huwag kayo mag-alala. Sandali lang ako. Matutulog na ako. Pumasok
ako. Sasabihin ko sana, thank you so much for your time kasi magluluto muna ako kasi I'm really hungry. Hindi pa ako kumain.
Hindi ka man lang nagyaya.
I hope I'll be able to see you guys here soon in the Netherlands talaga. I hope for that.
Yeah, oo nga eh.
If in the event na si Tatay Digong mapauwi na siya before the confirmation of charges, then hopefully we'll meet you guys in the Philippines. In the
Going home
future.
as well.
Yay!
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you, Joey, Aldo.
Thank you, Joey, for letting me, kahit nakakasira ng style mo, pasensya na.
Hindi naman attorney. Hindi ka dito anytime. We need an angel. Ayan. Kailangan din namin ng in-house angel dito.
Minsan-minsan lang to. Thank you.
Thank you, Trix. Ayan.